Oh, right. I saw this. Everybody's been reacting to this dude.
Warn when it
Who's
counts.
somebody? I've seen a couple reviews of him. It's freaking fighting cowboy, isn't it?
When you look at the world, what do you see?
I've seen a couple of reviews from him here and there.
Hey, what's up,
Not
guys?
too
Up here.
crazy, but apparently he had a little bit of he had a video where he's like super defensive towards Assassin's Creed Shadows. It's a bit of, honestly, it's my opinion, like, as far as, like, from what I've seen, he's had a good opinion on some games. I haven't really seen a whole lot of his stuff, but here and there, I've never really had anything, like, negative to say, but bad take on this one. I don't like Assassin's Creed Shadows. I don't like what I'm seeing. It looks kind of stupid. It looks kind of like a half-baked Fallout 4 to me, honestly. I don't know.
Hey, what's up, guys? Riff here. So in yesterday's video, I said we would not be talking about Assassin's Creed Shadows again unless something big happens, and unfortunately, a lot has happened over the past 24 hours. It's been an absolute dumpster fire, and I want to share what's going on. So we have everything from content creators publicly crashing out over criticism of this game, to this official Ubisoft account feuding with people on Twitter.com. It's an absolute...
By the way, hopefully soon. It's Thursday today, so hopefully I can record it this weekend. We just finished Avowed. I'm gonna be doing a review on Avowed. We finished Stalker, which I actually wanted to do the Avowed review first before I did Stalker. Because I wanted to use it as a point of reference. You'll understand later why. But next we're gonna be playing Atomfall starting tomorrow. Literally just came out today on Game Pass. If, and frankly, when Assassin's Creed Shadow goes free to play on Ubisoft, or, like, I might even pay the monthly fee for Ubisoft Plus, just so I can, like, play the game, and, on stream, and then, like, do a review. I think it'll be cool. Because, like, at this point, there's way too dead, like, nobody, I feel like, can trust a freaking journalist anymore. And it's kind of one of those things that I've always wanted to do just for funsies, and I'm like, you know what, why not? Like, I'm gonna start freaking making my own review. I'm done. I'm saying I can't trust nobody, like Jack Squad no more. And at this point, since I can't trust other reviewers to review games anymore, I'm just gonna start reviewing them myself. And if anybody else likes them, you know, I'll keep making more.
Absolute mess. And let's start with this right here. So this is how it all began with the
But
Twitter
that being
feud.
said, I'm not gonna review Jack Squad that I haven't played thoroughly, like all the way through. It's gonna be a game, and I'm only gonna review games that I've basically played and beat on stream. You get what I'm saying? I'm gonna be using stream footage on the stream. So
Here it began with
sure to swing by for
Drums,
that.
aka Mark Kern, a former team lead at Blizzard, saying this: you can tell a lot about Ubisoft with how much money they're throwing at terrorist platforming streamers, referring to Hassan Piker, who was paid to promote this game. And then Elon Musk, of all people, responds by saying Hassan is a fraud, and then adds on, sellout would be more accurate. Objectively, he is promoting a terrible game just for the money. And then the official Assassin's Creed account replies to that saying, is that what the guy playing your Path of Exile 2 account told you? Getting
Okay. Yo, Elon, you gotta shut up, bro. This is not you lost this one the moment you stepped in the room. Get out of here, bro. Your gamer cred is dirt cheap, bro. Like, get out of here. Your gamer cred is lower than your freaking stock prices in Tesla, bro. Chill.
600,000 likes, by the way.
Fair. That was
Then
a freaking
Mark Kern
burn.
replies that with this article saying Assassin's Creed Shadows isn't the hit Ubisoft desperately needs, analyst says. And then the Assassin's Creed account replies again saying, our game is out, referring to the fact that Mark Kern has a crowdfunded game that he has not completed yet. So yes, looking at these replies and the interactions, I mean...
Bro really said, yeah, finish your game, shut up. Tell me why the Assassin's Creed Twitter account is like, has like the best freaking, they have the best social media manager.
They made some good burns. Like, I can say this game is not very good.
Oh, bro, Assassin, whoever that is, they need a raise.
And I can also say these were good burns, right?
This is the best part of, this is the best thing that's come out of Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Elon and Mark Kern. There's no denying that. But this is what it really shows me. It's that Assassin's Creed, Shadows, and Ubisoft, have taken off the gloves, but not in a good way. Okay, when you're resorting to feuding with people on Twitter as an account and a company like this, I think you've lost the plot, all right? And the sad reality of this is there's more people interacting with these replies from the Assassin's Creed Shadows account than there are people interacting with Assassin's Creed Shadows. And the numbers are not looking good. Right now, 35,000 in-game players. It's plateaued for the day already. It's a lower peak than yesterday. That's the trend over the past couple of days. And only a...
Well, I can see a lot of people, absolutely, I can see a lot of people checking it out in the initial weekend, for sure. Especially on the Ubisoft, like, app. Because I believe it's free to play if you have Ubisoft Premium, right? Or something like that. I think Chaos, I don't know if Chaos is still here, but I believe it is free to play. Chaos, can you confirm that? If it's free to play on the, Ubisoft thing? I don't know if you still have that account or not.
After its release, it's already about halved its player count, which is insane to think about for an Assassin's Creed title like this. And also it goes to show you people on Twitter are full of it.
Games.
There was hundreds, if not thousands, of people saying just because of those interactions, they were going to go out and buy Assassin's Creed Shadows. Well, it made absolutely no difference whatsoever, and the downward trend has continued. Now, I pointed out a response to this saying the game is out, and I said so is Schedule 1, which is crushing Assassin's Creed Shadows in concurrent player.
What the hell is Schedule 1? Also, I saw Yasuke Simulator on Steam. Is that free?
Numbers right now, and then people were coping in the proposed community notes, saying stuff that's completely unrelated to anything I said, but that's just cope from people who are defending Ubisoft. And today, things have gotten even worse. Look at the player number for Schedule 1, 141,000 players versus 35,000 with Shadows. A complete crushing of the competition, and people cope and say, well, wait a second, Schedule 1's only $17. Well, yeah, so is the price of a Ubisoft Plus subscription, which is how most people are playing that game. So I think it is somewhat comparable, and mainly it just shows that a random game like this...
What's Inzoi? Inzoi Creative Studio? I've been seeing a lot of people, like, I've been seeing a lot of videos on YouTube about that. I don't know what that is.
This can overtake a big title like Assassin's Creed Shadows with...
Adamfall we're playing literally, tomorrow.
Absolutely no effort.
7.
I think there's something to be said there. But this is the other part of the video I want to talk about. A major set of crash outs from a YouTuber named Fightin' Cowboy. So this clip went viral. I noticed this when it happened back about a week ago, shortly after the release of Assassin's Creed Shadows. This guy is a gaming content creator, and someone came into his chat, I guess a couple people, talking about Yasuke and how he's black and they don't want to see this game and all this stuff, and he crashes out for 2 minutes here in a profanity-laced rant where he's just going off on these people, and he got a lot of support, but he also started to get a lot of criticism, which he felt the need to address. Now, who is this guy, right? He's the Fightin' Cowboy. In my own definition here, I'd say more like fleeing soy boy, because he doesn't have that much fight in him, right? I mean, he's blocked.
Alright. Hold on. So the Yasuke Simulator is freaking $4, dude. But you can get the freaking deluxe bundle for $9. What a freaking steal, bro. Bro, it comes with the Bengal tiger skin. Freaking sick. I kind of want to get it. Maybe I should. Should I ball out on
blocking pretty much everyone who dares to criticize Ubisoft. I've never interacted with this guy before. In fact, I didn't know who he was until this crash out, and that's not me thumbing my nose at the guy.
Wait, Rev is freaking,
he's obviously successful. He has like 1.5 million subs on YouTube. Clearly, he's a successful creator. I just haven't come across him until this moment, and he would respond to everything going on with a 30-minute stream on YouTube. I was not aware of this until today. I don't really know how this slipped under my radar, but his response to everything, the crash out and the criticism people have given him, is a hard watch. This is a hard watch of a video where basically this guy demonstrates himself as the most clear-cut example of a real-life NPC I've ever seen. Basically, he goes by the motto of shut up and consume products, where in this video, he basically tries to gaslight everyone watching into believing that all criticism of this game is just the work of grifters. In fact, he goes a step further and tries to claim that the current issues with the gaming industry, the reason it's in the state that it is not because of studios. It's not because of consultants or activists in the field. It's not because of consumers who keep supporting slop. It's all because of grifters, aka people he disagrees with, aka anyone who has the nerve to criticize companies like Ubisoft, which is a very...
I mean, he's not wrong. Yeah. But that's the people with the money, though. That's the people who buy the games. Like, you're not doing it. Like, what the hell do you mean? Like, if this was not the case, you would the game would be successful. What the hell are we talking about? I hate this stupidity where we have to pretend, where it's like, the game is doing terribly, but it's an amazing game. It's just that people talk bad about it. It's like, brother, if the game was good, people would buy it. Like, it's not that complicated. Nobody's buying the game.
Funny statement to say if he truly believes it, because he's basically labeling a handful of people, a couple handfuls of people, as probably the most powerful forces in the gaming industry. If a few...
Yeah, like, call them whatever the hell you want to call them. They're the people with the wallets, bro, and they're the people that Ubisoft is trying to have open their wallets, and they don't like it.
Dozen YouTubers who criticize the gaming industry can actually damage it and lead it into the state that it is now. Wow, that is a powerful group of human beings right there. But it's, of course, copium for a guy who's trying to shield these companies from criticism.
I guess on a wider, like, I guess on a more, like, he might be talking about specifically, like, content creators that criticize Ubisoft, but, like, I don't know. I don't give the content creator that much power. Like, I feel like YouTube reviewers and content creators are basically the modern day versions of, like, everyone, Alana Pierce, Greg Miller, like, all the people at IGN or at Game Informer or, like, whatever other, like, avenues I used to, like, you know, on forums and stuff that I used to watch. When I was a kid, I used to, like, get the little Game Informers from GameStop. I used to go on IGN. I used to go on GameFAQs. I used to, like, look up reviews on forums. Like, I used to, like, and I would recognize the names. Like, I'll be like, oh, this is that fool. I like, he did a good review on that one game, and I like that game. And then I'll pay attention because I know that name. Like, there were so many, like, journalists and reviewers that I used to, like, hold in high regard because they were good reviewers. The games that they always recommended were always good. And so I feel like that's just the modern day version of that. But at the same time, like, there were absolutely situations where I'm like, well, this guy is saying that it's a good game, but this guy over here is telling me that it's buggy as hell. And it's like, and this guy's like, I know that reviewer normally, he's right when it comes to buggy games. This guy's kind of a freaking, like, fanboy for you know, because he works for freaking IGN or whatever, and IGN always 7 out of 10. You know, they've always had a bit of a record. You know, people always said that IGN probably gets paid, and yeah, you know, always those rumors. So it's kind of like, I don't see any one YouTuber, any, like, particular reviewer or critic having any more power than those dudes from back then. Me personally, maybe some people were out here glorifying these YouTubers, possibly. I don't see it that way. I don't think so. I think that's stupid. I don't think they have that much power.
While gaslighting his viewers into believing some of the most ridiculous things about recent gaming controversies. And I want to start off with this clip right here, because this really gives you a good taste of what this guy is all about. Prepare yourself, by the way.
And then, of course, your typical grifters, they like to make up bullshit. You know, oh, woke leftist cowboy is, I don't know, shilling for Ubisoft and blah, blah, blah. Because none of them actually have a point to stand on. They're all little, you know, weak-willed men that like to hide behind avatars or made-up names.
And Ubisoft, what the hell does being leftist or woke have to do with the game being cruddy? Like, it's buggy, it's glitchy as hell. The animations don't make any sense. The story and dialogue looks boring as hell, and the Japanese people are pissed off because you can bang Nobunaga's sister in it too, when she was like a really faithful, like, wife to her husband, like, back then. Like, can you imagine if we came back, like, if somebody made a video game where you played as a Secret Service for the president for Obama, and you're just allowed to bang Michelle, or like, you're like, what the hell? Like, that's messed up.
Actually stand on business. They don't. They probably don't stand at all. I can't imagine most of these people are active. They probably don't go to the gym. They probably don't work out. They probably just sit inside all day and hide. But that's beyond the point, okay?
fair is fair. They probably don't go to the gym. What the hell that has to do with Assassin's Creed Shadows, I will never know, but fair is fair. I lift. I got my 25 pounds.
Basically, anytime he says anything, he ends it with, but that's beyond the point. Okay, so there's a lot to unpack there, right? So we begin with a whole lot of...
Bro really pulled a gorilla brain move there. Really said, I muscle, so me game review good. Like, really, what the hell was it? What was the point
projection
there?
And this whole thing about working out,
wrong,
making
bro. You
your
rip
opinion
all in.
more valid. Like, because
like goals,
he
right?
works
respect,
out,
mad respect.
his opinion somehow matters.
Like, I'm one of those people. I got mad respect for anybody who freaking like looking like as swollen as this dude. I'm just saying. I don't know what the hell that had to do with Assassin's Creed Shadows.
More than someone who doesn't, which is a ridiculous thing to say. For example, personally, I work out about 4 or 5 times a week. I've been working out since I was...
Oh my goodness, you're an angel. How do you do that? That's amazing, bro. Good shit. Those 4 or 5 times a week. Ugh. It's like a job at that point. Why the hell would you do that to yourself?
13. I've been an athlete most of my life. That doesn't make my opinion any better than anyone else. And if you believe that, you are genuinely stupid. And you're compensating for something. You're compensating for a lack of a real argument. And also, it just looks incredibly insecure. That flex right there, what are you doing, man? Like, seriously, I hate... Forgive me, guys. I'm going to use some TikTok Zoomer language here. That gave me the ick. That made me physically recoil. That was cringe. Basically, like, oh, I see all...
Bro said I got the ick. That was an ick.
These losers
Add it to the ick
criticizing me.
list.
I'm going to hit him with the...
Fine, somebody hit up the guy with the ick list on TikTok.
Flex. It's cringe, man. And then you got this whole part about...
Ick list item number 400. No, it's what is it? We're at like a 700 at some point at this point.
Oh, these people don't go outside. These grifters, they don't go outside. Dude, you play video games for a living. What are you talking about? Telling people that they don't go outside and trying to shame them for that? That's a very weird approach. But then you also have this whole thing about anons, right? People being...
I gotta be honest with you. If you're somebody who doesn't touch grass, I think I trust your gaming experience a little bit better.
Anonymous and not using their real names and using avatars and stuff like that. First of all, anyone who wants to force people to use their legal and real names and identification on social media in order to be able to criticize people, that's super...
I'm gonna be honest with you, like, first of all, the only reason you want that is so you could dox them. Like, what other reason would you want somebody to give their real, put their real information out there? Like, why else do you want them to put their real information out there besides to dox them? That's stupid. However, to each their own. Like, I feel like if you want to put your name out there, yeah, do it. If you don't want to put your name out there, you freaking don't do it, right? Like, it depends on what you're trying to accomplish or what goals you want to do in life. You know, like, of course, if you're Jimmy Fallon, if you're freaking Conan O'Brien, it's like, yeah, of course, you're gonna want your name to be out there because you want people to recognize your name as a in-home name. You get me? Me personally, I've said it many times. If you guys figure out who I am, if you guys find out my identity, if you know who I am, if you meet me IRL, I am totally okay with you guys, like, taking pictures of me. I'm totally fine with you guys, like, meeting me, knowing my real identity, all that. That's totally cool, and I'll even speak to you in my real, actual voice. But the entire purpose of this channel, and the entire purpose of this thing, and the reason why I, you know, asked Degenerate Weeb to hand over the channel to me is because I wanted to do a voice acting career. And, frankly, I had a lot of very bad experiences with, like, in general, auditioning for voice acting. So, you know, me personally, I just do it because I want to be a voice actor. That's why I don't want to ruin the magic, so to speak, which is why I don't reveal my identity or give my real information out there. But if you guys ever do figure it out, that's fine. It's cool. I'm totally alright with it. So long as you don't, like, put it out there, so long as you're not coming into my chat and freaking putting it out there, yeah, I will ban you for that. Of course I will. Keep it to yourself. Keep it to your I don't care if you know, but keep it to your damn self. Don't ruin the magic. We're here for a performance. Some people are going to be comfortable with it, some people are not going to be. Everyone's situation is different. How about we just respect each other's freaking, like, right to privacy and talk about video games?
Super weird behavior, but also talk about made-up names. My brother in Christ, your name is Fightin' Cowboy. Like, I'm pretty sure that's not on your government ID, so that's a very weird thing to say. And also, calling people weak-willed men because they dare to criticize these companies. First of all, projection, and also if you notice in that clip and the whole video, his voice is literally shaking the whole time. Like, he's getting so wrapped up in his emotions because someone dared to call out Ubisoft and other companies like that. It's very, very strange. Now, here's the real irony of this. What I'm going to do here is a little different because this is a long video. I'm just going to take his key points, tell you what they are, and I'm going to give a quick response to it. Because honestly, if you want to get an in-depth breakdown of all this with all the receipts and everything, I highly recommend this video by Endymion, okay? I'm going to put a link to this in the description if you want a long 33-minute breakdown of this. I highly recommend this because the irony of this is that I was listening to his video as background noise while I was at the gym today. So that's pretty ironic given these circumstances and what this guy's saying. But again, in this video, Endymion absolutely blasts this guy. Like, have you ever seen that meme with the coughing baby versus Atom Bomb? That was Fightin' Cowboy versus Endymion. It's an absolute bloodbath.
Dude, I gotta give you major credit if you're listening to, like, commentary while being at the gym. There's, like, 2 things I can watch while I'm on the treadmill, specifically. It's either anime, in most cases, One Piece or My Hero Academia, especially during the initial training arc of My Hero Academia when, you know, Deku was freaking, like, going ham on the freaking, like, barbells and, like, working out. Oh, dude, what a oh, I love it.
Of a video.
Like, solo leveling? Amazing.
Dismantling everything this guy's trying to say.
They have to,
so
like,
let's go back to Fightin' Cowboy for a second.
Gets you in the mood,
so he makes a bunch of different points. Point number 1 involves Yasuke and Assassin's Creed Shadows. He begins by saying it's basically up for historical debate whether or not Yasuke is a samurai. There's a lot of historians who say he is, and basically if you don't like that, get over.
There's quite literally no historians that say that he is. There's like one guy who claims that he is.
Over it. Well,
and he just wrote a book on it having no background. He's actually a defamed historian, if I'm not mistaken.
Of course, the only people who have ever cited that he's a samurai begins with Thomas Lockley, who we all know is a disgraced historian who literally vandalized the Yasuke Wikipedia page and used his own book as a source. And when he was exposed for all this stuff because there was no merit to any of his claims, he immediately deactivated every social media account, and we've never heard from him since. And the only...
Yeah, quite literally nobody, no historian has made these claims about Yasuke being a samurai. It's Thomas Lockley just sort of made the whole damn thing up, wrote a book, and gaslit Ubisoft and convinced them that this was a real thing.
Only other person who even attempted to make this claim was a Japanese historian who's a member of their Communist Party who believes in the Marxist theory of producing history where they think you can make historical claims without...
Which, by the way, this would be the equivalent of, like... Because technically, there are historical records and documents of samurais in Mexico. Like, we have them. Like, it's been a thing. Like, it was actually well documented enough that a lot of people in Mexico, like, got super involved in Japanese culture. So, imagine if Assassin's Creed was like, Assassin's Creed, Mexico, and we're like, ooh, when is it gonna take place? You're like, during the time of the Aztecs. Oh, during the time of the Aztecs, it's gonna be crazy! Oh! And then they were like, alright, so here's a Japanese samurai in Mexico. You have to fight the Aztecs. And it's like, I'm sorry, what? Like, what the frick, huh? And then, like, why the hell would you do that? I wanted to fight as an Aztec warrior for Shichipili.
Empirical evidence, basically saying, I feel like something happened. I feel like Yasuke was a samurai because it just feels right, even though I have no evidence. That's the two guys, that's the two historians who have been absolutely ripped apart by other Japanese historians. Those are the only two, so no.
It's like the freaking Cleopatra documentary. We was samurais.
I'm not gonna accept that he is a samurai. He was a retainer. That's what the historical evidence suggests. It's very fair to criticize that, especially since that historical inaccuracy is...
Also, isn't it just cool that he had Sasuke as a retainer? Like why? Like, I feel like you could have done so... Like, I feel like you could have done so much with Yasuke as a character in there, and like, you could have actually put a lot of respect on Yasuke's name if he was like he was like so... There's so little information about him in regards to what he did on his day-to-day stuff, that you really could have, like, even made him a pretty important character in Secrecy and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, it would have been so cool. But they kind of were just like, nah, we just want to do, like, I don't know, I guess. We just want to have a ginormous black man with hip-hop music in the background beating up on Japanese people in Japan. Like, this is what they all decided.
The key to why he's even a co-protagonist on an Assassin's Creed game in the first place. They wouldn't take a retainer and have him in that role. They had to make him a samurai. And they did this while promising many times over this game is going to be...
Meanwhile, we have, besides, of course, like Assassin's Creed Origins, which takes place in Egypt, we have so many one of the greatest freaking examples I've seen on the internet of other people saying Shaka Zulu would be such a really cool freaking because did he fight he fought against other very famous freaking figures. I'll look it up because I'm more a bit of an idiot on it. But I think it would be freaking cool to do a Shaka Zulu Assassin's Creed. You know, something. There are plenty of war battles and historical situations
and they did
that
this
happen
to make
in
Yasuke
Africa.
into the position.
If you wanted to take that route, why the hell haven't you? Why go to Japan to do that? It makes no sense.
Then we see stuff with Oda Nobunaga. He mentions this in his video as well. And basically ignores the fact that people in Japan in particular are highly offended by the way this historical figure and his family have been portrayed. Especially his sister, who is literally has an option of getting banged by Yasuke in this game. This is a woman who is dubbed the Mother of Japan, who then produced a line of emperors. And she's so loyal. She was so loyal to her husband that she chose to die by his side when he was under attack. She could have escaped. No, she decided to die by his side. She was that loyal. But in this game, she has the option of getting banged by Oda's, basically the guy he paid to have by his side.
Yeah, his posse, literally.
It's ridiculous. Do you see why people are offended? Now, he does this whole bit about you know, we gotta...
And yet people still deny that anyone in Japan is even mad. It's freaking ridiculous. Bro, look at this guy. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. He already got most of the equipment. It would be such a badass, like... And it's like one of those, like, I don't know why they gave him, like, this giant... I guess they had giant spears, too. But, like, it's like a spear sword. It's more like a spear... Look at this. It's like a spear sword. It's not like... Sometimes they give him, like, a big-ass spear, but it's not a big-ass spear. It's like a spear sword. It's like a half... Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a sword and a spear. Bro, imagine running around as an assassin like this. Oh, my goodness. It'd be sick. You could even add the shield as a, do the counters. You know how you do counters in the game? You can even do cool counters with the shield. They also have like the you stab him with the bottom of this thing. The shield is actually a weapon. He's actually technically dual wielding here. Cause there's a big old, I don't know why they didn't put it here, but this is actually a spike that you can stab people with. That could be your assassin weapon. Oh my goodness. Like, you can sort of fudge it up a little bit and make the shield, like, a little bit smaller. So it's almost like a gauntlet, you know, like an assassin's gauntlet. And then have the giant, like, the spear tip on it. Like, ooh. That'd be sick. Sorry. Alright, I'm getting... Sorry, now I'm starting to freaking fan fiction about Assassin's Creed.
Expand our viewpoints of the world.
Also, can I just say, the whole animus, future, aliens, cyber computer, I'm sick of it. It's stupid. Stop it. At this point, just get rid of that story, wrap it up, finish it up, get rid of it, never show any more animus, any future, any other just tell the story about the secret assassins that existed in the past. No need for animus, no need for future science. No, stop it. Nobody cares. We're done with that. It's stupid. Desmond Miles' story, when that ended, it was already over. Like, but even like before that ended, to be completely honest, we're sick of it. Nobody cares. Nobody could understand it. Move on.
Not just, you know, white dudes here. We gotta expand. Well, Japan is someone who's very offended by this, to the point where it's gone before their national diet, which is the highest level of government, and the Prime Minister of Japan literally talked about this game in some of his aspects and called it disrespectful. You don't care about what they have to say, clearly, or you're just not aware. Then He also says this is all manufactured outrage with shadows, mainly by white dudes. And understand this guy is a shill for Ubisoft. He got early access to this game because he has a relationship with Ubisoft. That's why you won't catch him criticizing anything they do, because it's in his financial interest to do so. It's so obvious. But then he blames everything on grifters. It's unbelievable. Then the next claim, it's a little tangent about him being a big, straight white dude. Take a shot every time he says it. It's unbelievable. Big, straight white dude. And he says, as a big, straight white dude, we have to do better. You know, people just hate representation that's not them. People hate seeing diversity in games, which is ridiculous because he's using Assassin's Creed Shadows for that. The worst franchise he could use to prove his point. Assassin's Creed not only has had black characters in lead positions, they are riddled with minorities in places as high as protagonists. All throughout, beginning right with the first game, a Middle Eastern man, Altair. Like, people didn't have an issue with him, or Connor, a Native American in Assassin's Creed 3. People didn't have...
What about the other, there was another assassin, Liberation.
Have an issue with those characters because they made sense for the environment and the story. It was organic.
Connor's second in command. It's just that they freaking they freaking added his freaking DLC. Was it a DLC or is it still a standalone game? I couldn't afford it.
Yasuke being chosen as the representation of feudal Japan is forced. If you can't see why it's forced, there's no helping you. You've been consumed by the Ubisoft propaganda there. And of course, he talks over and over again about people not wanting to see other perspectives and things like that.
Yeah, right? Isn't she? I guess I think she is. From Assassin's Creed Liberation? I might be wrong. But I remember this one. I wanted to buy it so badly. I just had no money at the time. Yeah, nobody was out here, like... I didn't see nobody repping her. And she's a woman. Like, how come nobody... Like, she was kind of bad, too, I'm not gonna lie. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand how nobody was, like, was going crazy for these people.
Again, with Japan, he clearly doesn't care what Japan has to say about any of this. The fighting cowboy does not have time to listen to what the Japanese have to say about their own history being rewritten by a game claiming it's historically accurate. And then he goes into this wild tangent about how the media
I'm still waiting on Assassin's Creed Mexico, where I get to work as like a secret warrior, a secret jaguar or eagle warrior, Aztec warrior from Montezuma III. Be like, what's up, Montezuma, my boy? He'd be like, what's up, eagle warrior? Oh, you could do that too. You could start off as like a warrior with like no animal, and then like you go up the rank. Because they had ranks where their ranks were dependent on what animal they had. So like if you were a warrior with like the jaguar, you were like a badass. You were an elite. Or like if you had the eagle, ooh, you were a badass too. But like if you had like the other animals, you were just not as cool, right? Like if you had like Monke, like Monke was like not that. But that's because I am the companion spirit of Chichi-Pili. You understand? I have the companion spirit of fire, fun, and games. You know, and dancing. So it's kind of, we're not really warrior. I'm not really a warrior like that. Chichi-Pili told me, like, I'm his companion spirit and whatnot. Like, he's an Aztec god. And so it's like, like, we're not really meant to be, like, warriors like that. But like, it would be cool if, like, you could be, like, a warrior in that game.
Not against white Christians. And he says, basically, anyone upset about this
But, like, if you wanted to make monkeys, like, the elite tier, like, that'd be cool. I mean, I'd be cool with that,
It's a white male Christian living in a small town, which is a gross overgeneralization of people who were criticizing this game, and also to believe that Christianity is some fixture of the media that's always protected. Brother, I know you're an NPC, but open your eyes, dude. Do you see what happens in the media and in society at large? How Christianity is the biggest punching bag of any religion out there? It is the safe edgy, making fun of Christians and...
Yeah, quite literally. I mean, just look up any Family Guy. Like, Like, quite literally, Family Guy, South Park, trying to think what other show, potentially. No, I think even American Dad, they all have, like, Jesus Christ is a character in the game, and he has done so much bad things.
Christianity
Meanwhile, none of them are allowed to show Muhammad.
is safe edgy. It's just like how people can make
South Park even made a whole episode about it.
fun of white people and get away with it. Have you not opened your eyes to this? It's right in front of you. But then he gets this.
They did it in American Dad. They made a whole episode where Jesus comes down and bangs Francine Smith, the Stan's like wife.
This cocky tangent where he's like, I'm gonna open up my game files or my video history here and stream history, and I'm just gonna pull out random games I've played or seen or come across, and I'm gonna point out the dumb controversies and show you how stupid they all are. He begins with Stellar Blade, and he says that people were upset about a titty window being censored and interrupting their gooning session, which is, again, we hear this bullcrap talk.
Yeah, like, why remove it? Like, it's just such a weird choice. It's like, okay, what, so are Americans just, like, not mature enough to handle a booba window? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, liberate booba. What happened to liberate the titty? Like, I thought that was, like, I'm just saying, here in California, there was a bunch of freaking women with their tits out in the freaking middle of the road, and I had to tell the kids, like, hey, all right, listen, you guys look away. I'm gonna enjoy, but you guys can't look at this. Like, right? And they're on their freaking tits was painted free the titty. But then we tell you free the titty on Stellar Blade, you get mad? What is this double standard? Are we cheering on Booba or are we not?
Journalists came out with hit pieces.
You can't keep telling me both now.
Development team saying all these disparaging things
More
about
Booba
them,
is always good.
shaming this design and the people who made it. In fact, there's a famous IGN France article where they basically say the person who designed this has never touched a woman, and implying they're an incel, right?
Which is funny because it's his. I think he literally designed it on like based on his wife. Like it's literally his wife's body.
Little did they know, the main creator of Stellar Blade is a married man, and also his wife was on the art team that helped design these outfits. So that was ridiculous, and a lot of people saw that. But here is the main.
Oh, I can't remember if it was. I believe his wife is on the art team. Oh, that's right. They designed it based off of a supermodel. That's what it was.
Issue. The game was advertised by Shift Up as uncensored on release, that the outfits would not be censored on release, and that's what happened. Once it was officially released, they did a rug pull with some of the outfits and censored them, and people had an issue with that. If it's such a minor thing as this guy is suggesting, why did they change it? If it's not a big deal, why did they change it? And you're not getting what you paid for. I know people like to just shut up, you know.
Again, the argument of it's not that big a deal makes no sense, because if it would not have been a big deal in the first place, then the censorship would not have happened to begin with.
Shut up and consume products, but in this case, they promised something and they didn't deliver, and people had an issue with that. And I am very happy with Stellar Blade. Great game. I'm very glad of all the achievements it did. It's a great success. But that
I don't have a PlayStation 5 though, so I couldn't play it.
That was the one blemish on Stellar Blade, was that basically swap on the outfit and whether or not it was going to be censored. So then he talks about Dragon Age the Veilguard and says the only reason people didn't like that game was because Tash was non-binary, which he's right. People had issue with that because it was cringe and it was shoved into your face at every single moment, and it reflected the type of people working on this game at BioWare who are narcissists, and they're doing self-inserts into the story and putting all their own agenda into it just for their own personal desires. It was very obvious. But overall, beyond that...
Honestly, me personally, the reason why I didn't play it, and maybe I'll play it if it ever goes free to play. On like Xbox Game Pass or something like that. Honestly, I've always been wanting more of a grittier Dragon Age Origins kind of play. And even Inquisition was just not that. I was kind of done with it. This latest one, it felt like it was just so much less of it too. So it was like, yeah, just done. Like I didn't like the direction they were going in.
The game was trash. It was a husk of what Dragon Age is all about, and the numbers show it. Nobody liked the game. It was overall a gigantic disappointment, and because it was so bad, we're never going to see another Dragon Age game. Okay?
You know?
Then he switches to Avowed, where he says pronouns were the only issue, which again, gross oversimplification of what's going on here. Pronouns were something that became an issue because of the behavior of people on their staff. Elon Musk commented on a tweet that was talking about pronouns being in the game, and then one of the art directors came out and basically said, I made this game to spite people like you, showing that their artistic vision has been corrupted by their own hatred of people like Elon Musk. And that same person said that they don't like white people, that they give black artists advantages when they're working with them solely based on the color of their skin. There was a lot of reasons people didn't like that game and the team.
And not only that, but it's like, let's be honest here. It's like, when people see one of the creators, one of the developers of the game is just like, it's just a non-stop, like, political, like just puking out politic after politic after politic. It's like, all right, you know what, I don't need to play a game that's just gonna be, like, just trying to freaking lecture me. Like, it just doesn't make your game appealing, you know what I mean?
Behind it. Then he talks about gender options, where he tries to do this, like, gotcha moment where he's like, listen up, guys. There's always been gender options in games, you know? Haha, gotcha. And he's right. There's been gender options for as long as I can remember. The first Pokemon game I ever played, the first thing they ask you is, are you male or are you female?
Yeah.
And if you ask Fightin' Cowboy how many genders there are, I'm not sure what answer you're going to get. But in this case, yeah, they gave options back then. 2 of them. You were either a fightin' cowboy or you were a fightin' cowgirl. It's as simple as that. They didn't have non-binary options. They didn't have they, them, z, them, whatever we're doing nowadays. Those were not a part of it. So that is the worst gotcha I have seen. In fact, it kind of just blows up.
Now that really is one of those things where it genuinely doesn't matter. Like, unless it's gonna change the dialogue and you're gonna be like, kind of like how Legend of Zelda, when you put your name, it changes, it puts it in like red letters and like changes the name. Unless you're gonna do that, who the hell cares? Like, just what to freaking, like, if the game is broken, but that's in there, nobody cares. Like, fix the freaking game. You know what I mean? Like, why are you focusing on like all the wrong aspects? If you're gonna put it in there, fine, put it in there. Make the game good though.
In his face. But really, that sums it up. Okay, I think this is massive projection, a very weird attempt to create drama for himself. You know, he tries to base his whole crash out on the fact that there were a couple of viewers saying disparaging things about Yasuke as a black man. Not because of anything to do with the game, just because he was black. And if he wants to ban someone like that from his chat, more power to him. It's his channel, he can do whatever he wants. But then he adds in all of these other games and controversies, and he links them to the initial issue with these chatters. So now he's opening himself up to all of the things we just went through. These are things he self-created. He didn't have to talk about these things, but he felt the need to own the grifters. And at this point, pretty much...
Yeah, I get... Well, sorry, I'll let him finish.
Prove that these so-called grifters seem to know a lot more about games than he does, because he basically showed that, yeah, he might be a great gamer, but he doesn't know what's going on with these games, the controversies, what's going on in the communities. He's been either blind to it, or he's intentionally ignoring it because it's in his interest to do so. But that's going to do it for this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
It does kind of make it seem like he's more so trying to make a much bigger statement on the whole matter, you know, so it's kind of like, all right, I mean, if that's where you're gonna take it, you could definitely expect people to respond in kind, so to speak, on the matter, but I don't know, like, it just seems very simple to me. Like, is the game good? Is it bad? What's good about it? What's bad about it? Like, that's it. Move on. Like, if it I get, like, the pronouns in the game or not in the game are not really gonna make the game any better or any worse. Just like, but if that's your priority, while the rest of the game is bugged and broken, who the hell cares, right? I'm gonna go ahead and drop the video on the Discord. Please be sure to go drop a like, go drop a sub, all that good stuff. Be sure to drop a comment so the algorithm knows that you like the video. It really helps. Alright, let's move on. Thanks for hanging out. Like or dislike, comment, and subscribe. And become a Monodachi today. I live stream all day, Monday through Friday, so go say hi. That's all for now, Monos. Goodbye, and thanks for swinging by. Salut!